Hello, everybody. Welcome to Frightmare HQ. My name is Loyd Cryer, and I'm here today with my co-host Charles Doze. What's up, Charles?
What's happening, Loyd Cryer?
How are you, sir?
Man, I'm doing so good. It is Saturday. It's that time of the week. Time for us to hang out and talk to some of our peepa deeps. Who we got on here?
Let's see who we got. We got, what's up, Ingrid?
Good day, Ingrid.
We're going to see you a little bit later tonight, Ingrid.
Heck yeah, we are. I'm super excited about that.
Me too. This is going to be fun. We've also got Travis Brown. What's going on, Travis?
And downtown Travis Brown, the man with the plan.
And then we've got Robert Kowaleski. I know I just butchered that last name, but I know Robert. He knows me, so we're all good.
We know Robert.
Yes, we do. Jimmy LeComp's here. What's up, Jimmy?
Jimmy LeComp.
Meredith's here. Yo, Meredith.
Butter Brothers. That's our new nickname. We the Butter
Brothers.
Call me Margarine, boy, because I go down smooth.
Bob White. What's up, Bob?
Hey, Bob, the man.
Mickey Reed's here.
Mickey Reed.
Let's see. Charles Anderson. Hi from Argento fan. What's up, dude?
What's up, Argento fan? Charles?
We are absolutely glad to have you all here today.
Yeah, guys.
We appreciate it. This is incredibly awesome. We're just waiting. We're kind of waiting for Danny to join us. He was having a little technical issue, so Mirthquake.
No, it's cool. Yeah, we're gonna wait for him.
Yeah, we'll wait for Danny. Mirthquake says better to watch Twitch or YouTube. What do you think, Charles?
I mean, it's kind of, Twitch or YouTube's kind of your preference. During the live streams, really, it's your preference. Playback, like if you're watching it later, I say go to YouTube because that's how we monetize. But yeah. during live streams, it's kind of whatever's better for you.
Yeah, exactly. That YouTube is where we make 50 cents a week. So
heck yeah, 50 cents a week, guys, man. Once a week, me and Loyd buy a pack of bubble gum. We share it. It's amazing.
Travis said he was glad to meet Danny last year. Yeah, I was talking to Danny before he started having problems, and he was talking about last year. He's even got a Frightmare volunteer staff T-shirt on today.
Oh man, you gonna put him to work, Loyd?
Well, he absconded one last year somehow. He's a crafty little devil.
That's awesome. I love it.
Charles Anderson says looking forward to it and the watch party later or Tater later. What's up, Rick Lopez? Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Rick.
So, what do we want to do while we're waiting on? Oh, wait, here. I think I just saw him. Look at this. There he
Danny.
is. Hi, Danny. How's it going?
There's Danny.
Can you hear us?
Get over here. Yeah, I can hear you guys fine.
If we have any trouble, I was going to suggest maybe you could join us with your cell phone if you continue to have trouble.
Okay, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I think we're all right though. Well, welcome to the show, man. Thanks for coming.
I'm trying to listen to 5 different people. I'm sorry. What's that, mommy? What'd you ask me?
I asked you if the volume was too loud because I turned it up.
Oh, I can hear. Okay, I'm good, guys.
Sweet. The volume is good. We're rocking and rolling.
Yes.
So, that's cool. I see is that your wedding photo behind you?
Oh, yes, it is. Right. Yeah, right there.
Right there.
Beverly Hills.
I know.
Beverly Hills.
What a liar. I don't live anywhere near there, but
neither do I.
So we did stop there on the way after the wedding and took pictures. So they came out really nice.
They are. That's really cool, though.
Hey, guys.
I mean, that's something we would do around here in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere cool and go get a cool photo.
What's it called? I wanted to show you guys my shirt.
He's wearing it.
That is awesome. You are official Texas Frightmare Weekend staff now.
Okay.
We'll put you to work.
We'll see him at the door
Sure.
taking tickets. He'll be checking wristbands, guys. Be like, all right, guys, let me see that wristband.
Hey, buddy. Hey. VIP only.
VIP only. Sorry.
We love it, man. What's been going on lately? Anything cool to talk about, or?
Well, I mean, it's really like as far as production and all that, like nothing like Hollywood just hit the brakes because of the COVID and all that. So there wasn't really anything, and we were rehearsing. I played in a band also, and we were starting to do rehearsing and play around town, and then immediately that was like no deal. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm sure you guys and the cons are getting pushed back, and so I'm just trying to stay positive and hopefully something we can get to do something again. But it's really affecting everybody. So.
Yeah, isn't it crazy? Like we're all in this same boat together. I mean, I can't remember a time in my lifetime, at least, that we've all been in this crazy kind of a situation all at once.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Even like visiting family, I just barely could go see. I saw my family last week because you can't travel, and who knows, man. It's just like we'll see what happens.
Well, you said you're in a band. I didn't know that.
Yeah, me and my wife, we play. I play bass. It's not like hardcore or anything. It's more like radio pop music almost. But I started out playing rock music and never made a dime. And then But this band, she sings and I play bass, and it's a 4-piece. We got a guitar player and a drummer, but it's actually pretty cool. We're on Facebook. We have our website too. It's called Victrola the Band.
Victrola, yeah.
If anyone wants to check it out, you can go to Victrola the Band.
Your wife's the lead singer? That's fun.
She's the lead singer.
You guys are rehearsing?
Yeah, and I'm the worst musician, so I can't really get fired because I'm married to the lead singer.
You're like, I'm here to stay, guys.
Right. You can't.
At least during quarantine, you guys can rehearse or something together. At least you could do that together.
No, that is like 2 pieces. It's so hard to keep a band together. Like these days, like, it's so hard. Like people have no idea. Like man, but just keeping a band together, like. Because everybody has their own lives besides paying rent and doing rehearsal and just like so. Yeah, at least we stay together. Half the band's still together. We replaced a guitar player, and that takes forever, to like find someone that really meshes and has a job in their own instruments.
You got a requirement list. You're like, look, you need this and this.
Well, there's amazing drummers out there. They just don't have any equipment. You're like, well, what?
They show up with some jugs.
They probably had to pawn their equipment or something.
That's what it is. It's so true. That was us in Seattle too. We used to like go to food banks, and as a band, we'd be like out there at food banks and getting free food instead of selling our instruments.
You got to do what you got to do to survive, man.
Right. But you enjoy what you're doing. That's one of the things that matters is enjoy what you're doing, right? So
for sure, yeah, man. It's actually right now I've been working. I work for a buddy. It's a construction company. I always tell them I'm an actor, and they don't get it. I'm like, look, I'm an actor. I'm not a construction guy. they don't get it. They're not buying it, man. So basically, I have like a pretty low skill job at the construction company because I'm not really a construction guy, but but what's cool is we're working downtown right now, so I've been in the historic core of Los Angeles for like the last 4 weeks, and it's really fun. It's really like a history lesson. There's all kinds of interesting stuff down there, like as far as like I didn't know that Nickelodeons were a theater. And you put a nickel in, and it was a little room, and it had like these, before motion pictures became popular, they were like a novelty. And you went into these Nickelodeons, and you put a nickel in, and like all these, it was mostly like poor people even too, because it was like kind of like, that's not even that, people were still going to like vaudeville and stage shows. Movie wasn't like the cool thing to do. And so they have where those Nickelodeon theaters were all along Broadway in Los Angeles. And then when it became popular, they built Sid Grauman, who did the Chinese theater in Hollywood. Well, Sid Grauman's first theater, they called it the $1 Million Theater because that was like a whole bunch of money back then. And he built it right next to where I'm working now. So there's a story about it. And they made, when motion pictures became popular, and it became like when rich people wanted to go check them out and they got fancy, the movie palaces are just amazing. Like these guys were building, instead of like the little Nickelodeons, they went for a movie palace and made like movie theaters that
Nice.
could hold like 2,000 people. And I guess in the 20s, 1917 to before the Depression, like the whole street, they had basically 12 separate movie palaces that were, really fancy. Like that's when this is like, 1920s when movies actually started being something that people went to go see versus vaudeville and live stage shows and stuff like that. It's pretty interesting.
The first theater, was that the Egyptian? Was that the first theater he built?
No, it's actually called the Egyptian is one of his, but this one is called the $1 Million Theater. It's actually above the what's it called? It's above the Grand Central Market in Los Angeles. It's really not a theater anymore. It looks like residential now, but the entrance is still there, and so is the marquee, and it's just wild. It's so gorgeous, man. It's like it's that I forget what it's called now. It's all Art Nouveau cool stuff. You can just see the era, and that's when Los Angeles was really prosperous before the Depression hit, and it all went into what we're still recovering. Downtown has its issues. Let's take it.
I just looked at it. I've actually been to that theater, the $1 Million Theater. I went there last year, and they actually showed Halloween on Halloween at the $1 Million
Theater. Oh, that's rad, right? That's rad.
That is. I was actually in LA that day, and I happened to see it. And I was like, I'm going to that. So yeah, I just looked at it.
It's super cool. And then right across the street from that theater, like directly across the street, there's a building called the Bradbury Building, and that's where they filmed Blade Runner. And where I don't know if you guys know the movie, but they filmed Blade Runner inside there, and the big ending scene, and it's so cool. It's like the inside of the building. Right? Yeah, the stairwells are just amazing. You're like, and that was built in 1901 or 1905 or something. It's so amazing.
It's crazy, the architecture. Yeah, I remember that. They use it in the apartment building in Blade Runner. It's so cool, that area.
It's such a cool area. All that area. It's like the historic core, so it's like a little history lesson, and it has a lot of entertainment history in there too, because that's where motion pictures kind of started, basically.
Yeah, definitely. I wish we had theaters like that. Those golden ages of those large auditoriums are so cool. That's why it was so cool to go to the $1 Million Theater, because you see something like that, and you're like, this is amazing to watch a movie here.
I'm sure. Even when like music venues are cool too. Like they have the Wiltern and then the Paramount up in Seattle. They're really similar because they're from that era, and you walk in, it's just pretty magical in there. You're like, whoa, this is neat. Same with the movie theaters; they're pretty magical. So
you can feel the history. You walk in there, you can feel it. It's crazy.
And then some of them, like it's funny because I went to a rock show like. I don't even know, like in the 80s, and it was pretty rough down there. And it was one of the theaters was the epitome of a dive bar, man. It was like, and then of course they put like rock shows. They didn't care if people like threw up and spit on everything or whatever. So they didn't care, but it was like I forget the name of it now. I can't remember the name, but it's still there. It's all dilapidated. It's pretty funny.
I've got a question from one of my one of our watchers, Travis Brown. He says, "What was it like to do the motorcycle scene in Nightmare on Elm Street 5? That scene's pretty iconic, man."
It is. I got immortalized because I was killed by Freddy Krueger in a really cool death scene, and they spent a lot of money on mine. It's kind of a drag for Andros Jones because he died in was it? I can't remember. It was even 4. This is 5. Anyhow, they spent a lot of money on my death. So when that happens, sometimes the other parts don't get as much money spent on their effects or whatever. But yeah, that scene just kept getting bigger and bigger and turning into like, I don't know, because at first they were like, Dan gets on the motorcycle. And then when we actually started filming it, I jump on the bike, start it up and take off. And they're like, hey, we'll do that. And then they hire a stunt guy. And then this guy's like professional motorcycle guy, like doing wheelies and all this cool stuff. And then it just kept, going and going and going. And then when we actually did the practical effects of my arms that, and then the leg scene that gave the movie an X rating. Did you guys hear about that? Like it's just the craziest story. Cause like there was already so many graphic things on television or movies that because of the wires penetrating my legs, they're like, oh, that's too much. This movie's getting an X rating. And they're like, what? So they actually edited it out. And then there's like the European version. It just goes in my skin really cool. And that part was actually, it was fun because we were experimenting kind of with practical effects. You know what I mean? Like we didn't really know, is this going to work? So let's try it, So we try doing all these things with my arms and my legs. And I was basically on a huge soundstage on a podium with people blowing like with leaf blowers, off camera blowing and smoke, and all that. So it looked like I was driving really fast, but really I'm just sitting on a soundstage with wind machines on me and stuff, and then my legs and my face and all that. So it was actually a blast. It was a lot of fun because you had to be like a good sport. You know what I mean? Because you got all this makeup on, and it's like if you get a little cranky or diva-ish, you're gonna have a hard time because it's not always perfect. It's not trying to make this effect look good. So you just got to be a good sport. It was actually fun. It was fun.
That was at a time when seemed like the MPAA was out of control.
All over.
Yeah, they were just
for sure
trying to censor everything, and now it's like you don't see those problems anymore.
Not so much. Not in. Yeah, you can show anything now.
Yeah.
But, and even it's even funny is like when I was younger, like Nightmare on Elm Street, the original. I'm not even sure. I'm trying to remember how old I was, but I do remember back then it was really hard for people that were under 18 to actually go see R-rated movies. They really monitored it, or you needed a chaperone or whatever. Well, now I don't know if they do that anymore. You have access to it, but it was kind of a big thing.
TV nowadays too. So much is on TV nowadays. People are just kind of like whatever.
Well, yeah, right. Kids dropping F-bombs. They don't care.
Yeah, I went to see Evil Dead 2 when I was a kid, and my mom took me, and it was unrated, which was basically being, it was X-rated. Right. And they wouldn't let anybody in under 17, period. And my mom had to yell at the ticket girl to let me in. And no, I did. So
I believe it, though. I remember, yeah.
Yeah.
We had what would be awesome is I hear, I don't know if it's going to happen, but because of the space, but it'd be nice if drive-ins came back in. Because
definitely.
They're starting to think about, because right now movie theaters are not open, you know what I mean? And that's a killer that you can't go to a movie right now. And I'm all for being safe. So if that's what we have to do right now, we got to suck it. I'm not like, they're taking our rights and all that. I'm not definitely one of those people, but I want to be safe. So, but I'm bummed we can't go to the movies, man. You can't go to the movies. You can't even go to the record stores or anything like. So, that part of it's a drag. So it would be out of that. They said that drive-ins might come back. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. Because when I was a kid, that was fun, man. That was really fun, like piling in the car and bringing your own food and, watching a movie. It was pretty fun. And they have them still, like, I live in Los Angeles area, but if you go out to the Inland Empire area, out by Riverside, I guess they still have one out there. And then
we have a couple around here in the Dallas area. There's a few, not very many, but they've been open, mostly showing older movies, some older stuff. We finally got a couple of regular theaters back open, but
no way.
They're showing old movies again, and it's like they have wherever you 4 seats, you can't.
I was going to say, it's so weird, right? You can't sit next to the person you came with.
You have to wear a mask the whole movie. It's like, come on.
Right. I know. When we finally went to restaurants here, and that was like a week ago, maybe 2 ago, and we started going. And then I was like, do we have to take our masks off and eat and then put it back on? I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm not doing that. And some people were doing that. I was like, no. We took our mask off, ate our food, but
have you seen the mask that has the flip up front?
No, but
you can actually flip it up to eat or whatever you're going to do, and then flip it back down. And I'm like, what good does that do?
Right, and I know my friend said I'm not going to argue people, but I heard a guy say the other day. He goes, at this point, he's like, that's like, what did he say? He goes, that's like using birth control after your girlfriend's 2 months pregnant.
That's so true.
That is true.
So,
great.
Like I said, I don't want to, let's hope it goes away and nobody gets sick. I don't want that to happen.
I think it will. We'll get back to the norm. We all definitely miss, the conventions, and I'm sure everybody does.
I agree. It's pushing back all kinds of, like I said, the music thing. I work. It's not like a steady thing, but I have a friend that we call them LARPers, but they're airsoft guys. They do airsoft. This thing, they go out in the woods and shoot each other and they play army.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But anyhow, it's not like a steady gig, but I do that once a month during the season, and those have all been pushed back. So we don't know when the nearest one is going to start in Labor Day weekend up in Washington. So we'll see, because like I said, we'll see. They've all been getting canceled and rescheduled.
Yeah, well, hopefully they'll come up with some solid treatments or even a vaccine. Who knows? But
we'll see, right? Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I hope so as well. I'm like I said, I'm not going to choose a side and whatever, yell at people and start arguing about the whole thing. Let's just get over it.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, yeah, it's not a political issue; it's a health issue. So
I agree, man.
Seriously. We all got to work together and get over this,
Right. That's what it is. Right. And then, I forgot. There's also a race war going on, right? I throw that in there too. I'm like, Jesus.
It's a powder keg right now, It's a powder keg
like
everywhere.
There's so much; it just keeps coming and coming. So 2020, thanks a lot.
I know. Right.
Let's get out of this year.
Jimmy LeCompte has an.
I know Jimmy.
Jimmy. He said to say hi to you too, and he wants to know what's your favorite Elm Street outside of the ones you're in.
The favorite one. Oh, number 3, because it has like. Actually, what's funny is I make fun of it all the time because that music was so popular, like hair bands and metal and Dokken and all that, and like some of it is really, really bad. It's terrible. Like if you see some of it, you're like, that's the worst video I've seen in a long time. Like some of the hair band videos, you're like, people dug that. And you're like, you're like, they did, yeah. But man, it was the era, man. Because if you look back at some of it now, like some of the hair bands and stuff are embarrassing. They're really cringy. You're like, okay. But anyhow, that was the time. And so Nightmare 3 was like it was a bit very popular. And it had the music and had like, there's like, I think, anyhow, there's a bunch of like rock stars and stuff involved with that one. And then it actually has a bit of continuity as it goes into mine, which a lot of them don't really have continuity. They don't carry on the story from the next one to the next one, because it just doesn't seem like it to me. And then because 1 and 2 are like, they don't make any, like, there's no continuity. You're like, what happened in this, So, because number 1, I remember going to see number 1, I didn't see it at the movie theaters because that movie scared me. It was like, I was like, oh, it was more scary than even like Slasher. It was like trippy. I was like, whoa, that was a trippy movie. I had no idea I was going to be in A Nightmare on Elm Street at that time. And then when I was about 19, it was on like HBO and everyone was watching it or something. I was like in college. I was like 19 years old. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to sit in the other room, drink beer. I don't want to watch that movie. I know about that one. And then years later, I ended up being in the movie. So it was pretty.
What about it? That's got to be a trip, man.
It is a trip. It was. The only time I got to go to Hawaii too. This is like not like, oh, I go to Hawaii all the time. I was traveling, but I had a little money, so I went to Hawaii, and I meet these people, and they go, hey, come on over. We're gonna have dinner at their house, and I walk in their house, and Nightmare on Elm Street 4 was on television, and they had no idea I was an actor, and I was just like, hey, and the kids were looking at the TV, looking at me, like, what?
Hey, that's that guy.
Who is he?
The kids stared at me all through dinner like I was like an alien. Like, who's this dude?
Yeah, they were probably tripping out.
They were. I was too, because I was like, it was like Hawaii, and it was all awesome. And then I saw myself on television, so I was like, this is too like coincidental. It was, man. What a coincidence.
Mirthquake. He says your IMDb says that you've done episodes of Columbo, Murder She Wrote. Any stories about those?
You know what? Actually, both of them, like with the Murder She Wrote, I did. You basically, that was a super popular episode. You guys are too young probably to even remember that show, but it was a really popular show. Very popular.
I'm old enough to remember. Maybe not Charles, but I am.
You probably didn't watch it, but your grandma did, or your mom, or whatever, right?
I remember the reruns. The reruns. They were on.
It's still in reruns. I get a check every now and then. So, what's it called? Yeah, the one that I was in. So it's like a super popular show, and I got to be a guest star on an episode on a week of the show, whatever. So. But the show that I was actually on, I believe it was Kent McCord, and he was in the show called Adam 12, and so he was like a big Hollywood legend guy. And then the other guy that I did my scenes with was the original Shaft. So I was like, what?
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Richard Roundtree.
So it was me, Richard Roundtree, Angela Lansbury, who's a huge star, and the guy from Kent McCord, I think his name was. But yeah, so I got that week, I was like getting their autographs because I was like, hey, man, this is the real Shaft. I got his autograph. And people, I was more starstruck than I was like happy to get the gig. I was like, no way. I'm working with these guys. You know what I mean? And they're like Hollywood legends. Oh, and I think the director was Ivan Dixon. I don't know if you guys ever heard of him, but he was an actor in, I think, Hogan's Heroes or one of those army shows where they have like a cast of dudes. I can't remember. It was a show before my time, but he was also the director. So,
wow.
Yeah.
You still have the autograph?
I do. Actually, I do. It's one of my own memorabilia. It's like the cover of the script. I had everyone sign it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I did another show called Houston Nights that no one ever saw. It was a really crappy series.
I know that show.
Well, yeah, Houston Nights, right? So it was supposed to be cool, and Texas guy and all that. And it was actually they used Michael Pare and Michael Beck were the Houston Knights, Knight. They're the badass cop dudes. And so I did a show I did a series or whatever. I did a guest star on that, and then The Warriors was like one of my favorite movies, And so and so years later, like because if you'd have told me cons were a thing, I would have been like, what do you do? And so now I've done a few cons, and I got to go to one of the cons that I was at was a Warriors reunion. So it was super cool. I got to see him. And he had no idea who I was. And I was like, man, we did a show together like 100 years ago. I was like a guest star. You remember? And he's like, no. but no, that he's Swan or whatever. It was Michael Beck's character. Yeah. So he's a cool dude, man. It was like for me, I was getting starstruck because that's like one of my favorite movies, So it was fun to meet him actually. So, and I met Rutger Hauer before he passed away. And that was pretty amazing. Cool. Yeah, the con thing has been pretty fun because I get to see big celebrities too,
Yeah, we've had Michael Pare at the show, and we always tried to get Rutger, and he was never available. We've talked about that on the show, but man, that's somebody that I would have loved to have met.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, super nice guy. He was, it was, and I don't know if I'm more starstruck sometimes, but when people are in movies that I really like, that are my favorite movies, I already like that guy. I don't even care if I know him. I'm like, he's in one of my favorite movies. So
that's kind of what we run into doing the convention. We'll run into some people. We're like, oh, it's cool.
yeah. Well, every now and then we have somebody that'll just show up at the show that just as an attendee because they're in town. Like we had Bruce Kulick a few years ago from Deep Purple, and I think he played for Kiss for a little while.
Yeah,
he just showed up to like hang out. He was in town. He was in town for a concert. I was like, wow, that's awesome.
That is cool. That is cool.
Charles Anderson says there is a scene in part 4 where a door opens, and the reaction is it's a door, stating the bleeding obvious. My favorite line ever.
It's a door.
Yeah. I have, it's even speaking of funny lines, because with the line in part 4 where we do the loop where I get in the car and then they do the scene and then Lisa Wilcox gets in the car and she drives and then it goes dun, and she's like, oh my gosh, I'm dreaming. So we do this loop scene that it's like a great special effect that costs zero money because all they did was like when they did that effect in the movie theater, people started looking back to the projector like, did something happen? Why is it repeating? And then I have my line, and I am in all seriousness, not even trying to be funny. I'm like, haven't we done this before? And it just came off comedic as hell. And everyone roared every time with laughter. And I did that and not even trying to be comedic. I was like completely serious. I did that line. And then every time we watched it, people roared with laughter. And I was just like, I looked like, haven't we done this before? And it was perfect. I don't even know how but it came off so funny and perfect. It still works to this day. When people see it for the first time, they're like, oh, good job, Captain Obvious.
That's always fun.
There. Like when Alice says, you're one major league hunk.
It's like, gosh, that's like, I love it. I mean, there's a lot of other things I could be known for, as but that's not a bad thing. And everybody says that to me. That's like the line. And it's not even my line. It's actually Lisa's.
I know. You're such a major league hunk. You're like, I get it. I know.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. That's what's funnier. Like when young people though, they see the 20-year-old dude on screen, and then they see me now, they're like, whoa, and you can hear that like, he got old, and you're like, that was like 35 years ago, kid. Yeah, what I mean? So
well, you've aged really well. I gotta say, I'm not even BSing you. You don't even.
Thanks, man. Yeah. A lot of I guess weed and beer, I think, is how you do it.
Young.
Let me write this down.
Bigger. We're ready to go.
I'm joking. Oh man.
So you also do stand-up comedy too, don't you?
I try. I used to. Yeah, I do, man. I a couple times I started getting pretty decent, and I had a pretty good little gig going, and then again, I have, and then, with COVID, it's like, how do you go out and do open mics just to practice? You can't. Bars just opened like a while back, so I have a few. I started doing it in Seattle, and then just kept doing it. A couple times, a few times I would suck really bad, and then you start at the bottom. So when you go to these comedy clubs, if someone that's a regular comes in, you keep getting bumped down. So by the time you get on stage, no one's there. They're cleaning the place. You're trying to be funny. It's like 11:30 at night and it's empty, except for the barflies who don't give a shit. They're like, shut up. So it's a pretty competitive field, man. So I do okay sometimes. Sometimes I do all right, and then sometimes not so much.
You're a Renaissance man, that's for sure.
Yeah. I got jack of all asses.
Yeah. Man, I always give much props to people who do stand up though, because you gotta have a thick skin for that, because it's hard. It's hard to get. So.
I agree. I'm not saying I'm so rad at it, but you do. Like, people ask me all the time, like, would you rather go jump out of planes again or do comedy? I'm like, planes, easily. Planes. I would jump out of a plane right now. Comedy is like, because when you are bombing, you're bombing, and it seems like it's like. And the whole world is like, you just want to run off stage like a little kid and just run off. Thank you. Good night, man.
Hey, God bless America. Okay. Here we go.
Right.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Did you have moments like that though? Can you think of any moment that when you did comedy, stand-up comedy?
Oh yeah, I remember. There's quite a few, No, but I remember I'm bombing. I can't remember. I tried to get into the joke and no one was listening, and they're still playing like a football game in the other room because it's one of like a sports bar. So like, it's comedy time, and so the football game, you're trying to talk, and people are just yelling, go Raiders or whatever they're yelling at, and I'm just over there trying to do a joke and do a setup, and then. So yeah, I was completely being ignored the whole time. Got upstaged by a football game, so I was like, this is tough. And then what's really funny is our daughter doing music and comedy and all that. 90% of the time, you do it in a bar, So it's like you can't. It's like, oh great, I'm bringing my kid to this bar, But it's trying to do rehearsal or comedy and having a child there. It's kind of funny. So it's people are very accommodating. They're like, oh, you got a kid? Oh, hey, But I remember I was actually in Chicago doing comedy with, and Andros Jones came with me, part of the cast. Mm-hmm. And I get up on stage and I'm doing pretty good. And then I see my daughter over here and I see that she's falling asleep. So inside I hear the crowd is like, they're laughing, but I'm like, oh man, can you guys keep it down? And me and Andros laughed more about that than anything I said on stage, because she's like, you were trying to be the quiet comedian. And I go, I know, it's so weird. I was getting laughs, but I didn't want to wake up my baby. So it was just the weirdest night. We laughed. We had a good giggle about that. It was like, that should be a new skit, like the quiet comedian. I guess. I don't know.
How old is your daughter now?
She's 3.
She's 3? Yeah. That's the fun age, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I waited to have kids, man. So I'm having a ball. We're having a blast with her. She's a blast.
Yeah, I got to speak to her before we came on. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah, she might come. She'll come out.
We should put her on.
Amy, come here.
Let her see everybody.
You want to say hi?
Emily.
Amelia.
Amelia. I'm sorry.
Amelia. You say hi? There she is.
Hello. Hello,
hi, Amelia.
Amelia Simone Hassel. Here, let me get you centered here. Oh, there you are.
Oh,
hey,
there you are.
How old are you?
3.
3.
Jeez, yeah. 3. Hey, you.
Do you like? Did you like? You've been to conventions, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll be signing autographs soon.
For 3 years old, she's amazingly. She seems so grown up. I mean,
yeah.
See, the sad thing is because of she doesn't get to be around any kids. She's always around me and mommy all the time because she's just now getting to go to parks and stuff. So.
Oh, that's not fun.
But our families. My family lives in Northern California, and her family, or my wife's family, lives up in Seattle. So we try to get up there as much as possible. Okay, you going?
She's done.
She got stuff to do. Bye-bye, everybody. Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. She's like, I'm busy, guys. I got things to do. All right, no more time for this.
What's their names? That's Charles and that's Loyd. Okay.
She's like, cool.
Because we can see you guys really good.
She's like, I'm not impressed.
Oh yeah.
She's good.
She there?
Amelia, can you hear us, Amelia?
Yeah.
How are you?
Do you know any jokes, Amelia?
Tell us a joke.
No, I can't hear. All right, guys.
We tried to get her to tell us a joke. She didn't do it.
She's like, I don't do it.
She's a pretty good singer. Anytime I pick up the guitar, I play acoustic guitar too, and she has like a little. Oh, now she's doing her ABCs.
Yeah, there she goes. Now she's doing it.
Yeah. She can do her ABCs, huh? Can you count to 20 and do your ABCs?
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
You can
at the same time.
Not at the same time.
I just can do one only.
Okay. Want to do? What do you want to do? ABCs?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go for it. Here, do it on camera. Let's see.
Do it.
There we go.
Here we go.
Yeah, we want to hear it.
Let's see.
1.
3, 2.
A, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABC. Next time, won't you sing with me?
Yeah!
Now backwards.
Right.
That was so good. Yay.
That's awesome.
Cool. So yeah, if you have kids, you guys know the deal. And plus, if you watch the same movie like probably 40,000 times. So yeah, we're big Trolls fans and.
Trolls.
Oh, I bet that's popular right now.
Oh yeah, and then apparently I don't know if this is true, but we still watch Paw Patrol. I heard that they don't like that one anymore because Chase is on there or something. I was like, I don't know, but we still watch Paw Patrol.
I've never seen Paw Patrol. Maybe we should do a Paw Patrol screen on it, Loyd. We'll do a live stream.
Yeah, talk to him.
I think we need to schedule Amelia for our guest for next.
Yeah,
she get more likes and more calls.
We'll just let her host the show.
We'll let her host it. She'll be like, "Do you know your ABCs? Let's hear them.
Yes.
Let's do it."
Send it, right.
That's awesome. Thanks for letting us see her today. That always brings a smile to your face.
Awesome, guys. Yeah, I like to bring her to cons because, it's fun. She gets to see the whole thing and see the atmosphere because, a lot of times, and then there's like scary stuff,
Yeah.
But there's, a lot of the people aren't scary. Do you know what I mean? They're just, that's their thing. They get dressed up and do, it's like Halloween. So
Does she think it's weird that people want Daddy's autograph? Does she think it's weird?
At first, I think, and then now she sees that how happy I get about it. I think she's like, well, I think it feeds Daddy's ego. So I think, no, she does. I mean, I don't know if she really gets it yet. You know what I mean? As far as like that, I mean, it's like the movie itself because she doesn't really, Freddy Krueger is still scary to her. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I don't. Even though my movie's not necessarily the scary one, mine's the kind of funny, goofy one for adults or whatever. But Freddy still spooks her. That he's still pretty scary. And then she's met Robert a million times, so she's just like, she's always like, any one time we see him or people have tattoos, she's like, "Daddy's friend, there's Daddy's friend," and people are like, "That guy's your friend." I'm like, well, it actually is, because like, it's amazing how many people in this world have Freddy Krueger tattoos, or like, it'll blow your mind. Like, that's like, I don't know. I'm surprised. It's a lot. It's a lot of people. And like Robert Englund is more recognizable than, any movie star I've met. More a character. You know what I mean? As far as Robert, you can go. Freddy Krueger. You can go anywhere and go, "Hey, do you guys know what Freddy Krueger is?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, Freddy Krueger."
Yeah.
Any language even. They're like, "Oh yeah." So it's pretty neat.
That's what I try to explain to people who don't watch horror movies or aren't avid horror fans. I try to tell people Robert Englund is like the Vincent Price of the modern age.
Yeah,
absolutely, full on. That's totally true. And then what I've noticed also is horror fans, like people who are, that's what they like to watch, horror fans. Because I'd have to say myself, I'm more of a science fiction than a horror fan. But horror fans are probably the most dedicated and loyal of fans that I've met. They're almost like fans that like rock groups and things like that. They're like, they don't care what other people think. They're going to like what they like, and they don't care what other people think. So that's like, it reminds me of people who like certain types of music and other people don't or whatever. So it's actually a great crowd. They're a very loyal and awesome crowd, even though they might look a little scary with all the movies and the gore and everything, you know, but at the end of the day, you realize it's actually a big party, a big family kind of.
We've talked about that on the show a bunch. You know, how the horror people, we're all such a tight-knit community. You know, we're all here for each other. We love our movies, you know. We're also knowledgeable in a lot of movies, but we're just always here together.
I agree. That's what I've learned about the horror, or like the horror fan grid base, you know, because, I mean, I'm a fan of movies too, so it's kind of neat. It's kind of a neat fun. It's our neat gig, you know. And then every time I go to a con, it almost has the atmosphere of like a concert. You're all just sappy and everyone's bubbling and walking around waiting to see somebody, and you know, and then it's over. Sundays are the worst. You're like, oh man, it's like, you know, I don't even know what, like Sunday afternoon, it's just like, oh no, reality, you know what I mean?
And you're like back to normal.
Yeah. We always talk about that, how it's a big family. And the cool thing about it is, like, even through this virus and this pandemic, everybody's like, you know what, we'll do it when we do it, you know.
Right. That's what I've been seeing that as well. Like, listen, everybody wants to do a con, not just to make money. That's not, you know, the goal. Even I realized for myself, it's not like this one guy goes, I just online, he said one time, he goes, man, it's a shame that some of these actors have to pay the bills by doing cons. And I said, wait a minute, pal. I go, you have to get invited, first of all. It's not like you sat at home and were like, you know, I've decided to start doing cons today.
Yeah.
You know? So,
yeah.
You got to get invited. And then it's more, once you get there, I guess there's two kinds. A lot of the successful movie stars that I hang out and like to talk to usually are super nice to people. Like Robert Englund, for example, is one of the coolest big celebrities I've ever met. And by being around him and seeing how famous he is and how he behaves around fans and gives back to his fans and super cool, it kind of sets the tone for how, if I were to ever be that big, I'm going to be like that. I'm going to be a cool dude, because he's cool, man. He'll take, you know, he takes a lot of time, and he's never a jerk. And then I've seen other people who are big stars and they're like on their phone, you know, like, here's they're not even looking at people, and it's like, you know, I don't think I'll ever be like that. And then, you know, like I said, being as big a star that Robert is, he's a pretty cool dude for being that. He doesn't have an ego. It doesn't seem like, you know.
He's amazing, so cool. And I've seen him behind the scenes so many times, and he's been nothing but amazing.
He's always cool, and you know, I thought I could talk, man. That guy is a good talker, so he's fun to hang around with. I got to hang around with him a lot when I was doing the movie, and then we both had a common thing. He was a surfer and I was a surfer, so we just immediately started talking about stuff. And then because I had to do so much special effects in the movie, I actually had to be in the chair next to him, so we got to know each other, because you don't always work together, or like until your scenes are together. You know, the movies are, especially his, because he's the main part of the movie, but he has like so many different like crews, or you know what I mean. He'll have like a crew that just does something to do with the effects with the hand or whatever. But for me, I got to hang out with him a lot, you know, and so I got to know him pretty good, you know. And then what I was going to say about cons too is it's also a good thing for I don't want to, but for celebrities. But it gives you a chance to actually talk to people instead of like out and about, you know. So it's like, hey, you don't have to come get an autograph. You can come to my table and we'll chat it up, talk about whatever, you know. And that part of it is pretty cool, because you can go up to your favorite celebrity and go talk to them, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's cool, because I think
always cool.
That's a good experience, I think, you know. So that part I miss that part, because that's like when you get to go to a con, you kind of obligated, and that part's kind of fun. You get to meet a lot of people.
I mean, you really only have a certain number of genres that could even really foster a convention, you know, like sci-fi is one, and comics is one, and
you're right.
Horror
And
is one, but you can't. Right. Can you imagine having like a comedy convention? I mean, it wouldn't
be funny. It wouldn't be funny. You know, the only thing I've seen that was kind of abstract one time or weird, I went by, speaking of LA, I go by the Wiltern Theater, and I see all these dudes dressed up in the same clothes, and I'm looking again. It was a Lebowski fest, a big Lebowski fest.
So I've heard of that.
everyone was dressed in a different Lebowski. You know, some guys had robes on, and some guys looked just like John Goodman, and it was wild, man. It was like all these. I go, that's a new one. I never saw that before.
But you know, it's all that. It's a cult thing. So you do have this large Lebowski cult.
Yeah, there was a couple guys you had to double take. Their cosplayer was on point, man, or whatever. And you're like, that guy looks just like him, man. Like, you know, the dude. It was pretty funny.
Yeah,
but yeah, it would be weird. Like cons are cool because they do kind of. I mean, horror cons because they do actually blend together with like they can do comic books and science fiction and horror kind of intertwine sometimes. So that's you know, it's pretty fun. I got to go to Comic-Con one time, like because someone canceled. So, and I've actually been in the Nightmare series, made a comic book. It's no one's ever seen it, but I have a few copies of it. So I got to, I can't remember who's a big celebrity canceled. And they're like, hey, you want to be in Comic-Con? And I was like, sure. So I went and I got to do that. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, at least you were able to get in because they're
sell out
so fast, man.
That part of it was the drag. There were people outside that couldn't get in, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we just come down here, and this is what we do. We just come out and hang out on the outside." And I was like, "Do you guys want an autograph here?" And I was just giving stuff away.
That's so crazy.
And then even when they gave me my ticket, and I didn't realize how much they cost, you know. And they're like, "Hey, don't sell this," and they meant that like I was going to take my thing and sell it like immediately, and I was like, "Okay, I won't." You know, I was like, that was a weird thing to tell me. Like, don't sell my ticket. How am I getting back in tomorrow? Yeah. I was like, it was sad for fans. I mean, I love Comic-Con in a way, but I like the Frightmare. You can actually get around Comic-Con. You get in a line to get in a line to get in another line, almost. You know, and then it's like, and then before you can go, you basically can only see one thing. You know what I mean? I don't want to talk bad about it, but it's a crowd. That's
how some of those big ones are, you know. I mean, I've heard like Comic-Con people wait like 12 hours to go to one panel, and I'm just like, that's. Woo,
I saw that.
That's a lot.
I saw that going on. Even I tried to. I was there with Ricky Dean Logan, because we were like Nightmare people, and he's a crack up. The guy's like a stand-up comedian as well, and we were just like stuck in the back 40. No one even knew we were there, and like no water. So like we had to like go to get water, and then it's like getting in and out was just like it was a sea of people continuously, so you couldn't even, you know. And then Blade Runner, the new one, had come out that year, so you know a lot of people were there for that. And so
that's what I try to tell people. They show up and they see a lot of people there, and they go, "Man, you must be making millions of dollars." And you know what they don't understand is that no, you don't. There's so much expense that goes into doing these conventions. You know, airfare, hotel, and
absolutely,
you know, everything that goes along with it. And I do it for the love of the genre, and that's really what keeps me doing it. I mean, because if you become the big Comic-Con, then you're going to overcharge everybody for tickets. You're going to rape people, and then there's going to be a lot of people that can't get in. So
I was blown away by that. Like literally they sell out like immediately, and then people still, like locals, want to go, but they can't because it really shuts the city down for a little bit because there's so many people there. And then yes, people were doing that. They were literally just going to hang out on the outside of the thing, really. And then that didn't seem fun to me. I can't remember this guy, when I was doing music, a promoter said something to me that made a lot of sense. It's like once it becomes, you know, when you have a party, then you have an event, but then when you have something like, I forgot how he explained it, but you know, a party, you care about your guests. A show, you care about your guests, but when it becomes an event, the guests are kind of like on their own. You know what I mean? And then they're so, you know, and that's when you kind of lose the, you know, people are like, man, we just, you know, they couldn't find their way around, or, you know, when things get that big, you know, that's what happens to the actual fan. They're on their own trying to figure out what to do. Or when it's a little more, I guess, smaller, they care about the fans more.
Right.
Right. Seems like, I don't know if I said that. That made any sense, but the guy said it way cooler than I did. It made sense.
No, it makes total sense, and I totally get it. And you know, it's just like there's a lot of these conventions that do 3 or 4 shows a year, sometimes more. And I'm like, if I tried to do that, the one show that I do would suffer, and every other show would suffer. I understand. We focus on one show a year, and we just want to make it a big, enjoyable show.
No, that's great.
I got to give respect to Loyd for that, because Loyd really is about the fans and the guests. I mean, Loyd wants to make a fantastic show that everybody enjoys. So That's what makes Frightmare so much fun. People always give it a good review because that's all Loyd. Loyd.
Thanks, guys. I mean, thank you, Loyd. Thank you very much. Because I we had a great con. Texas was great for us. I mean, we did great. I had a great time, and I also learned I didn't know the microchip was invented in Texas.
Yeah.
That's what we got. And they filmed RoboCop here. We got a couple of things here. That's it.
Right. Oh yeah, and oil and rich people.
Yeah. Texas Instruments. Well,
right.
I'll send that check out to you guys for saying the good words about me later. So I appreciate it.
Right. Hey, yeah.
Awesome, Danny. Man. Well, we appreciate you joining us today, Danny. This is
guys,
great talking
thanks
to
for
you.
Likewise, and thanks for the invite, and keep the good thing going, and good luck in the future. As far as cons, and I'm sure everything's going to work out, and we'll be probably seeing each other down the road. You know what I mean?
There you go. We'll definitely be seeing each other, and I want to thank you for coming on, and thank you for being such a great guest and a great person.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
So cool and such a nice guy.
Thanks, man. Right back at you guys. Right back at you guys.
Thanks for singing for us.
Signing off, guys.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Daddy. Man. All right. Oh, he's great to talk to. I really enjoyed talking to him.
What a nice guy. I mean, truly a nice guy.
Yeah, really. He started talking. I was like, I think I'd been to that theater. That's why I had to look it up. And I was like, oh, yeah, $1 Million Theater. I know that one.
Yeah.
It's really cool theater.
When did you go? How long ago was that?
It was last year actually, and we just happened to notice they showed Halloween on Halloween there. We were in LA, so we went. It was cool. He's a great guy.
He is a great guy, and just really down to earth and really cool. I love seeing his daughter. Family man. He is a Renaissance man too, singer and stand-up comedian, actor, and he works construction now, so that's really amazing. He's got to be in really good shape to work in construction. That's hard work, man.
Yeah, the one thing I didn't get to talk to him about is I want to talk to him about being in the Army, because I know he enlisted after September 11. He actually enlisted in the Army, and he was there for a few years.
No way. Oh, yeah, I think I remember hearing something about that.
Yeah, so I want to talk to him because, he was a little bit older than a lot of people who enlist in the Army, so I kind of wanted to talk to him about it, and I totally had spaced on it. So,
yeah, well, we'll get him on again, and we'll have even more to talk about.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun getting to talk to him.
Well, it's pretty cool to have Lisa last week, and then Danny this week. I know there's a lot of Nightmare 4 and 5 fans out there. They seem to, the Nightmare 4 people seem to be kind of a different generation sometimes, but that's their movie, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. There's a big fan following for 3 through 5. People kind of treat it like its own trilogy, so there's a lot of people who just love those. A lot of people who only collect 3 through 5. I've seen a lot of people that's solely what they collect, and I understand. It's a great series of movies to watch together. It's really cool.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and move on. We got some stuff to give away. Do you go first? Because you have some cool stuff, right? Are you going to do that today, or do you want me to do the photo first?
You can do the photo.
All right. This is what we're giving away today. This is a signed Christine photo by Keith Gordon and Alexandra Paul. This is really cool. It's been a long time since they were at the show, and they were great guests. Yeah. They were there when John Carpenter made his first real convention appearance at Texas Frightmare. So I'm going to go ahead and give this away. We were basing this on comments on the last
YouTube
interview. Yeah, so YouTube comments on the Lisa Wilcox interview.
And we only had 6. Come on, guys. There was only 6 people to comment. Guys.
I know. If we don't start getting more comments, I think I'm going to change it up. Maybe we'll give them away to just the Twitch subscribers.
Yeah, maybe just Twitch subscribers, because we love you guys and we love your support, but we're giving away some cool autographs. We only got a few people seeming to want them, so we got to figure out a different way.
Yeah. So, we'll see what happens next time. We'll go ahead and stay with that theme, but maybe we'll switch it up and go with, because we do have quite a few actual subscribers on our Twitch channel. So maybe next time we'll draw from those.
I think maybe we should, the next one giveaway, we're going to draw from people who subscribe on Twitch. And that's the subscribers, the ones who do our subscription. Let's draw from those next time.
Yeah, and to be a Twitch subscriber, you don't even have to pay any money. You can use your Prime. Amazon Prime gives you one free Twitch subscription per month, I guess it is. So you could, if you have Amazon Prime, you could actually subscribe to us for free, and it doesn't cost you anything. So that's an option. Do you want to do that next time then?
Yeah, we'll do that next time. All
right, then. So let me give this one away. I am going to choose Horror Freak. Horror Freak, you commented. Great stream. Can't believe I didn't see this one yet. Glad of the replays. Also wishing Texas gets better because the only convention I'm going to risk going to is Texas Frightmare Weekend for the 30th anniversary of the Night of the Living Dead reunion. Boom. Thank you, Horror Freak. We appreciate it. PM us if you've got a Facebook account. That's probably the best way. PM us. I'll try to reach out to you as well so we can get your address and get it shipped out.
Sweet.
Since we had Lisa on last time, I'm going to give a Lisa Wilcox autograph away to one of our Twitch subscribers. Now, if you're not a Twitch subscriber at this very moment, as long as you do it before the next show, when is it? It's not the next one because that's July 4th, right?
So next week is 4th of July, guys, so we won't be on because it's the holiday, but we will be back on July the 11th. So that'll be the next one.
There you go. So July 11th, we're going to give away this Lisa Wilcox autograph. And it's a pretty cool one, too.
Yeah.
Genuine autographed, signed in person at Texas Frightmare Weekend. So if you are a Twitch subscriber before July 11th, that gives you a lot of time. You can go subscribe. If you have Prime, subscribe for free, and you'll be in the drawing.
Sweet. I love it.
Love it.
Wait, I need some music to dance. Do you have any music for me?
I don't have any music. I don't have that capability on my end, Charles.
Oh. Can you hear music?
Now I hear it.
Sweet. All right. What else are we doing?
Let's see. DJ wants to know, how do I subscribe? I do have Prime. DJ, you go to our page and you use your Prime subscription somehow. I'm not really sure. I'll have to dig into it. And
yeah, if you have Prime, so if you the easiest way really is if you Google Amazon Prime Twitch subscription, it'll take you to a link in the Amazon, and it'll let you link over to Twitch, and then do your free your free Twitch Prime subscription. So,
yeah. Hey, Richard, thanks for the $5 tip.
Man. Yeah, guys, we appreciate the tips. We appreciate super chats and the tips. We love Richard. So if you guys are around last night, we were testing our new interface last night, which is going to be really cool. Big prop to Keith, Loyd's son, who was working on that. It's going to allow us to be able to see things more, better interface. We're still working on some kinks, though. It's a little different than what we're doing now. It's not as user-friendly, but it's better. We'll say that.
Yeah, what it does, what it really makes more sense on is you guys can interact with us better through the new interface. So basically, if you subscribe and we're live, we will be able to say, hey, thank you. And it'll also thank you on screen. Basically, you'll be acknowledged. So you'll be able to interact with us in a lot of different ways. So it'll be really cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. So since we've got a couple of weeks in the show, let me give away a couple of these Blu-rays that Arrow was nice enough to send us. How about we do that too?
Oh yeah, Arrow is so awesome. I love Arrow. They are the presenting sponsor of Texas Frightmare Weekend, and they have been for the last several years, and they will be for the next show also. So we are super excited to be able to give away a few of their titles here on our show. And it sounds like Charles is digging them out of the
Digging them out
depths over there.
I got a box of crap here. All right. Boom.
Oh, the stuff. We're going to give away the stuff today.
And boom.
And house. Those are two great discs.
I'm dancing them for you guys, too. Look at this. Boom. Boom. Boom.
Every time you move, we get a boom.
Every time we move, I get a boom. You like the booms?
I love the booms.
Boom. Let's do some trivia. I like doing the trivia because it kind of gives everybody, a chance to get it. So, what do you think?
I love that. You got a trivia question for us queued up there, buddy?
I do. Okay.
Oh, I got to say thank you to Ingrid. Thank you for the $5 tip, Ingrid. You're awesome. We are going to see Ingrid tonight.
You.
Let's give her an applause. Yay!
Ingrid. I like Ingrid. Ingrid. Doing my Ingrid dance. Ooh. All right, guys. First up, I'm going to give away a house. Now, this is going to be a trivia question for people who know Nightmare on Elm Street. All right? During Nightmare on Elm Street, what movie does Nancy watch and attempt to stay awake?
Doom, 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 doom.
You can win house.
Doom, 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 boom.
Boom, boom. Let's see if anybody can get it.
Oh! Bam!
Striker!
I am sorry, Striker, but that is the incorrect question. It was the I Love Lucy movie.
It was I Love Lucy in Space. All right?
Striker got it, number one, so he got it. Let's give Striker a round of applause. Woo!
Yeah. All right.
Awesome. Striker, you got to PM us on Facebook, preferably, and give us your address, and then we'll hook you up.
All right. The stuff. You guys ready for the stuff? This is a good one, too. I got another Nightmare on Elm Street question.
All right.
Which actor played Freddy's adoptive father in Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare?
Ooh, I know this one. Do 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 do.
Tyler, Travis, Striker. Well, Striker already got one.
We're gonna go with Travis because
Striker
won the last one. We will make it fair. And Travis Brown, you have won the Alice Cooper question. Good job, Travis.
Travis Brown.
Round of applause. It's Alice Cooper.
Downtown Travis Brown won the stuff. All right. I'm going to ship these out to you guys.
I'm going to give away a bandana. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm going to give away this lantern.
Yeah.
From the movie Django Unchained. Anybody want a Django Unchained lantern?
You better put that away. Somebody's going to want it.
Let's give away random stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
So let's thank Arrow Video for...
thank you so much, Arrow.
Yeah, thanks to Arrow. They have donated these items to us to give away to you guys. And Arrow, like I said before, they are our sponsor in more ways than one. They are our sponsor in our heart, and we love you, Arrow. Thank you, Arrow.
We do love you. Arrow is so supportive. I reached out to them and I said, talked about trying to do giveaways for you guys, and they were immediately on board. So they are always super supportive. I want to thank them because the more movies I can bring to you guys, the happier it makes me, because knowing you guys are enjoying these makes my day. It really does.
And all other Blu-ray DVD distributors suck, basically.
Yeah.
Because they didn't give us anything for free.
They didn't give us nothing.
There you go.
I had to get the other ones myself. They laugh. They laugh at me. They're like, ha ha, this red-bearded bastard.
I'm hoping that if we insult them, maybe that'll encourage more people to give us stuff.
Wink, wink, other vendors. Send us things to make people happy.
Exactly. We are bowing down to Arrow Video. That is correct.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us. Real happy that we were able to give a couple things away. I want to thank Richard and Ingrid again for their $5 tips for us. We appreciate the tips, the super chats, really helping us, guys. We're trying to get get set up for things better for you guys. So that really helps us get cover some expenses we have. So, boom, we appreciate you guys.
We need a better camera for Charles so he can show off his beautifulousness.
I need a super 4K high def 8,000, 10,000 megapixel camera so you guys can see my high defness.
Yeah. Jimmy LeComte says vinegar syndrome. Yeah, vinegar syndrome. You need to step up your game, guys, because this just isn't working.
Yeah, vinegar syndrome. What about it?
So far, Arrow Video rules. But we are.
Video. So you guys coming down the line, I mean, we'll have more Arrow Video giveaways. So I got more sitting right over there. I'm looking at them. So they're around.
Coming up. So that's awesome.
So we'll see you guys, I guess, the 11th, right? And then the 18th we won't be on because I won't be here unless Loyd's going to be by himself. So
yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do on the 18th yet. Maybe I'll just have I'll just carry my phone around with me and people can watch me grocery shop or whatever.
Maybe I can carry my phone around because I'll be out of town, so I can just carry it around and be like, "Hey guys," I'll just remote in, be like, "What's up?
How's it going?
I'm here."
Yeah, let's go ahead and we'll tell people or remind people that tonight we have a screening, a free Prime Twitch screening. So at our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/TX Frightmare, I believe is what it is. If you go there tonight, if you have Amazon Prime, you can join us. And the movie tonight is, Charles?
Dun, 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 Cabin in the Woods.
Chosen
by Ingrid.
Ingrid is also going to be our co-host tonight.
I'm so excited for Ingrid to be here. Ingrid's one of my favorite people. Ingrid's so super supportive of us. We love Ingrid.
She is. She's awesome. So y'all don't forget to come by tonight and let's have fun. Grab some drinks, grab some snacks, kick back, relax, and join us with Ingrid to watch Cabin in the Woods. Cabin in the Woods.
Adam said he'll co-host with you when I'm gone. Look, Adam's trying to take my place. There can only be one. There could be only one Adam.
Adam. I don't know. Maybe we'll try him out and see what happens. Maybe he'll
kick me out, but he can't get rid of me.
We would never get rid of Charles. Never.
I'll show up behind you dancing like Buffalo Bill and Silence of the Lambs every show.
Well, we're definitely up for picking people to choose a movie and join us as co-hosts on the Prime Watch Party. So we will keep doing that.
If you guys are interested in that, let us know, and we'll choose somebody new tonight.
Awesome.
Either though there won't be a movie next week either because it's 4th of July. But we're returning the 11th. We'll be here Wednesday, though. Wednesday's 1987. All right?
There you go.
And I'm going to warn you guys, 87 was a hard year. There was 107 movies released. 87 horror movies. I'm not even joking you. There was.
This might be a 7-hour show, Charles.
So we're going to start at 3 o'clock, and we're going to go to midnight, guys. So get ready. All right? Get your coffee. Get your stay awake pills. We're going 7 hours straight.
Awesome. Charles, I want to thank you for putting all of that together. You've always done an awesome job with that. And let's everybody give Charles a big round of applause. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Loyd. Oh, what would I do? Oh God. I'm so scared.
You're turning red, Charles.
I'm turning violet. Oh, what do I do? I'm so excited. Yeah, but I mean, other than that, guys, we will see you tonight. And then from there, we're going to be super excited to watch Cabin in the Woods.
Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and say goodbye. And, well, we'll say see you later because it's not goodbye.
Ooh, see you later, Loyd.
All right, see you in a little bit, Charles.
All right, guys, see you tonight.